Tiffany, and I'm here to talk about MS and living with MS. So, I've discussed what the channel's about. I've discussed the stem cell process just a little bit, but I kind of want to back up a little bit and kind of give you my story of how it started, where it began, and where I am now. I'm a wife, a mother of two, and I am living with MS. I'm 35 years old, young, I should say. And I am at a place now where I feel great. I feel better. I feel more at ease, and I'm in a place where I want to be able to share this information with everyone. Um, where my story began, people ask me, when did you find any symptoms? For me, it was, I was walking, I wasn't able to walk as great and all that good stuff. I couldn't sport those heels. I was a flight attendant for Delta for a few years, and then I became a Bank of America employee. And I was used to walking around in cute little short, my little heels and my skirts and things like that. And it started to become a hassle, starting to really weigh down on me. And then I became working for a company, a financial company, which was totally different for me. And the amount of pressure to do loans and not only do the loans, but to collect on them was definitely stressful. So I think that's when everything started to kind of take heed for me, the migraines and things of that nature. And then I had to say, whoa, what's going on? Um, what signs were I having? Signs for me were, again, the fatigue, migraines. I wasn't able to walk upstairs. I wasn't able to step up on a curb, the simple things like that. But then I started researching my symptoms, and then I had a coworker who worked in another office who was living with MS, and she just says, she didn't say, she didn't put that on me, but she did say, hey, look, I think something's going on, and you may want to look into this. And I'm like, okay. And then what really got me was that I had an older customer of mine, and she just said, I think you need to go see a neurologist. And I was like, ma'am, you need to go let a doctor look at your brain. Something going on with your brain. And with old people, we respect our elders. So yes, ma'am, I'm going to look at a neurologist. But little did I know that her doing that was amazing, because I went to go see a doctor, my Kaiser Permanente doctor, Dr. Matthews, and it was a blessing in disguise, because she would do the referral for me to go see this neurologist. She wanted me to go and get insurance and take care of matters, and I thought, I'm only 26, how am I I'm gonna look weird getting disability insurance, life insurance, all of these different things. And at the time, it was kind of awkward to me. So of course I listened to her. I took heed to her advice, and my husband and I, we scheduled an appointment with the insurance company, and I filled out the disabilities. I disability insurance. I had life insurance. I had all these different insurances on him, myself, and then even insure the children. Did those things that I thought was like, okay, I'm not old enough for all this. I wasn't thinking, I wasn't. My mommy didn't talk to me about it. I knew she had insurance, but I mean, I was a little too young for that. But hey, I'm gonna do it. And so my doctor said, once you're done with that, you call me and you say to me, hey, I've done everything I'm supposed to. Now I can get my referral. And so I went in, and she asked, hey, do you have everything I asked you to do? Yes, ma'am, I did. So she referred me over to my neurologist. The first doctor I went to, I'm not going to say the doctor's name. Um, I remember it was on a Thursday, and it was morning, it was raining, and it was just I was just like, oh my goodness. I went, and it was just gave me like this dreadful news, after I went and got the testing and the CAT scan, the MRI, the spinal tap, the process. Um, you are diagnosed with MS. You are not going to be living well. You're going to live, it gave me all this humdrum, and I was like, free me from him. So I left. And I was like, okay. Now, my doctor, Dr. Matheson, had actually told me prior to that she thought that it was MS. And that's why she wanted to make certain that I got everything in line as far as my insurances and things of that nature. And so that's where I was feeling like a relief, because Dr. Matheson had already given me an idea that's what she thought it was going to be, the diagnosis was going to be. But before I got it, verified and, guaranteed the stamp, that she wanted things to be taken care of. And that's where I was at peace when I went through that. Now, going to the first neurologist was a little discouraging. But yeah, I decided that, I'm going to ask for a second opinion. So I did. And I went to another physician, neurologist, and I went through the same process, or not the same process, but giving them my records and show them, my history, MRI, and all that. And for certain, they were sure. So there was my journey with Avonex. The big A. I don't know how to do an A with my fingers, but A, upside down. And Avonex was scared of me. I'm just gonna be real. That was just like, what? You mean tell me I'm gonna have to give a shot to myself? And so I remember the nurse lady coming over and showing my husband how to do this, and then she said, "You're gonna have to do it yourself. This is not gonna be something that's gonna be responsible of your husband." I'm about to shoot myself, really. So I would do mine on the weekend, and like many of you, I had the numbness. It just was a lot on the body. So I was just like, okay. And in the meanwhile, I was doing Medicaid. I was looking up different medications, upcoming information on the Gilenya. At this time, it was on trial, so it was not available. And it hasn't been FDA approved and all of that good stuff. So I was like, this is crazy. This Avonex is really shutting me down. But I still have to be a wife. Got, take care of hubby. I have those 2 boys. I still have to go to work and perform, and not just do half behind work, but I really got to get in here and collect. Got to do these loans, and I got to come in and cook dinner. Now my husband can cook too. Now that's the great thing about having married to a country boy. He can cook a little bit, but just all of that juggling was crazy to me. But what was great was that I had a great support system in my mother and my family, and I had some friends that were able to handle the diagnosis. Some, could not understand that I was not able to just go out and, have occasional cocktails like I used to, because I'd be so tired and just drained. But here we are. So, Avonex for me just didn't help me. Everyone has their own thing. Some people say, "Hey, I like Avonex." Some say, "Yeah, Tiffany, I'm with you." That just really shut me down. So from that point, I started with Copaxone, which was an injection every day, and that injection was better than Avonex. I didn't have as many flare-ups or things like that. When I did have a flare-up, of course, the Madrol was injection. I would have a nurse come over and do that for me, and I had the tingling of the hands, the feet, the numbness, I had all that. And then I decided to do acupuncture, and that world opened up for me. And it was amazing. So everything I say is amazing. It truly, honestly, guys, it really was amazing for me. To go to a place where, going to get a massage and then they have the clicker and it goes, ding, you're done. Okay. Whereas acupuncture, the process is all about you. And it doesn't matter if I lay on that table from the longest I've been was 2.5 hours, and it was great because my body just needed that rest, and she worked my body, and I received the rest that I needed. So it was great. Next time on the video, I want to pose questions to you all. I want you to pose questions to me. I want to know what it was like when you got your diagnosis. What was your reaction? And let's talk about it a little bit more. Until next time, let's just talk MS, and let's talk about living with MS. And I'll talk to you soon. Later.